So today's guide is going to be on the new character Emma Frost, and this is going to be a more beginner's kind of guide to this character. Once we get more details and how this character actually plays, then we'll make an updated version with more advanced tips. So starting off with Emma Frost's primary ability, as you can see here, she's kind of got like a laser ability which deals constant damage. Now we don't know what the exact numbers are as it's not on the website just yet, but it's about a 12-ish meter range on this, and as you can see here, it's building up a rage meter essentially, kind of similar to Wolverine. But what this actually does is the longer this gets built up, the more damage you start to do. So when you initially use it, it's going to deal less damage, and once you get to the 100, that is when you're doing the maximum damage with this primary attack. Her next ability, which is her secondary ability, basically steals the soul out of the enemy, and you can deal damage to them for a short amount of time. And you're only going to get a certain amount of damage out of this. You're not going to be able to finish off full enemies with this ability. So as you can see here, you get about half HP on a squishy character, and then it disappears. And finally, for her standard abilities, she also has a shield which has 500 HP. You can leave it in place and it'll block incoming damage, which is insane. You can also shoot through it as well, by the way. So if your teammates or you are trying to shoot through this, you can definitely do that. Now, this is pretty strong because it's very similar to Doctor Strange and Magneto, but it sits in place instead of you having to hold it in front of you. And obviously it's going to absorb as much of that damage as possible. And the cooldown on it is not insane either. But one thing you can do is basically despawn it as well, which is basically what you can kind of do with the Invisible Woman shield. So like I said, you can put that in place and it builds up over time as well. So as you can see here, it's 225 on the left hand side of the screen, and then it's slowly building back up so we can use it again, and then we can place it down at 500 HP now. So her next abilities are all about her diamond form, and first of all, we've got her diamond form. So you actually take reduced damage here, and as you can see, we're taking less damage on her diamond form than if we have the base form. So we're taking way more damage now, as you can see from the health bar. Now you can use this ability for a couple of seconds. So this is 8 seconds, and you can use a spinning kick and you can use a grapple slam. Also in this form, you deal melee damage, and you also deal a ton of damage in this form, by the way. So even just the base melee deals so much damage. So we're actually going to show you this on Groot. So as you can see, you can actually kick him, that displaces him. You can also grab him as well, which kind of displaces him as well. And then you can do primary damage, which deals so much damage in this form. And like I said, you get it for 8 seconds, and you can get 2 spinning kicks out of it from the looks of things, and 1 grab. Another cool thing is that if basically you're trying to grapple them, you basically dash towards them within a certain range. So you don't need to be like right on someone to do that. So our final ability is her ultimate, which basically in this radius, it blocks enemy players doing their ultimates, which is insane first of all. And as you can see, if the bar builds up on top of their head, it actually makes them travel towards you, which can be great for displacing the enemy players, which I think is really, really cool. So essentially this ultimate is to basically block enemies using their ultimate in very important parts of a team fight. Moving on into the tips and combo section of this guide. First of all, you want to use your secondary paired with your primary. Now this is great against dive because it means you don't need to track the enemy. It also allows you to build up your kind of rage meter a lot quicker as well. Now what's good about this, it actually gives you a burst of damage as you're doing it as well at the very end of your attack. So you can really do a lot of damage with this ability. Now what's really cool about this is, now here's what's interesting about this orb ability. So as you can see, Groot's too far away out of range for us to do damage to. So now what you do is you throw out your secondary, pull him closer, and the orb is now your main source of damage. So it essentially extends your damage range. Now this is also great for flying heroes. So as you can see here, if you hit them with the orb, you can then just hit that and deal damage to it, which is absolutely insane because the guy that's flying will be way out of range. The next combo is all about her diamond form. Now, her diamond form can actually counter ultimates, by the way. So if you want to watch a video all about that, then click the video at the end of this one to get some additional tips with Emma Frost. Now, this combo here is you throw out your diamond, and then what you want to do is you go out in diamond form, and you just start dealing loads of damage to the enemy. Now, as you can see here, we've managed to destroy Groot in under like a second or so, which is pretty ridiculous if you think about it, because it's one of the highest HP catches in the entire game. But this combo is absolutely crazy, man. Like, you want to make sure you get a few kicks and a few grabs in there as well. But by the time you finish Diamond Form, you've basically destroyed anyone who you're attacking, which is absolutely insane. Here's another tip in her Diamond Form, what you can do. So as you can see, we're trying to jump this block, but we can't do it with Emma Frost. Obviously, she doesn't got any double jumps or anything like that. Now, what you can do is go Diamond Form, and even when you jump, you still can't do it. But if you look up, you jump and press the grapple. As you can see, you get a lot higher there. So like I said, you go Diamond Form, then you look up, you jump and grapple, and then you can get to this ledge right here, which is absolutely insane. The cool thing about this tech is that you can also grapple flyers out of the sky if they're low enough down. They do need to be at a certain range, but once they're in there, you can just literally slam them to the ground. It's insane. So the next tip with Emma Frost is about her shield, by the way. Now, everyone just kind of spams the shield out, and that is fine. Obviously, you can do that. It gives you protection from projectiles, usual stuff that we all know about already. But what you do is you can actually hold in the shield button, and you can actually make it go up to 30 meters. I think it actually allows you to go slightly further than that, which is pretty insane at putting your shield down. So you can put it down to help your team so far away from you. It's pretty insane. Like, that is such a far distance to put a shield down. It's farther than anyone else can place a shield in this game, or not place a shield for that matter, which is actually ridiculous. So it's actually super, super useful. You can even protect your flyers with this. You can do loads of different things because of how far you can position this, which is absolutely insane. So essentially, you could block the enemies doing damage to you from up close in their face. So instead of it being in front of you to protect you like this, you can actually do it to protect yourself from like over here. So the enemies are trying to shoot your shield that is right in front of them. Obviously, they could walk past it doing that, but there's loads of different ways you can use this. And I'm sure people will figure out even more ways to combo that ability with other things. But that is absolutely ridiculous on how far away you can place this shield. Moving on into the gameplay portion now and how to actually play Emma Frost. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is our ultimate ability, because I feel like people don't know how to use this correctly. Now, first of all, you can use it during enemy ultimates, and it will kind of prevent some of them, for example, like a Star-Lord ultimate. However, one thing I do want to mention is you're supposed to use it before they initiate their ultimate. So obviously you're trying to stop them using the ultimate in the first place at a certain point. Obviously they won't get rid of the ultimate, so they can still use it after that. But if there's a team fight, you know that can be won if the enemy team does not have their ultimate available in that exact moment in time. Then you want to use yours. So basically you need to use it as a preventative measure. That is what it's for. Now, the easiest way to understand how to use that is if your ultimate is pretty much built up. Most of the ultimates in this game have around about 4,000 points-ish. Some are plus or minus, obviously a couple of hundred on either side. But the more stronger ones are obviously now higher points to get now. So if essentially you have your ultimate built up, the chances are someone else also does that. Getting on into the playstyle of Emma Frost now, and the way you want to use her is a hybrid between like the Thing and also Magneto, for example, because she does have a shield. She can be a shield tank, and the way her primary damage works in her base form is very shield tank like, and she can output a lot of damage if you build up that meter quite high. And even if the enemy team is getting healed up quite a lot from their backline, once you hit that 100% damage meter, you're still going to outpace the amount of healing that they're going to get. So you could use her in the front line, and that is the way she should be used for the most part until you get your diamond form, and then you just essentially turn into a brawl tank, because you can't really die in that form, and also you could tank so much damage because you get that damage reduction, and then also you can just beat through enemy shields as well. And the grapple is just insane for displacing enemies, and she has a spinning kick, so she can displace a lot, especially in the front line. Like, not a lot of tanks in this game that are frontliners can do that. Now, the other thing I do want to mention is that she's probably the biggest counter to ultimates in the entire game. And the reason why I say that is her ultimate counters other ultimates by preventing them, or when they're being used, it also kind of shuts some of them down. Also, her shield shuts down ultimates because it's very similar to like a Doctor Strange shield, essentially with 500 HP. It can tank a lot of damage, especially from ultimates. And then also her diamond form counters ultimates as well. So essentially you've got 3 counters to ultimates that are very easy to use. So you can stay alive pretty well with Emma Frost. It's safe to say that. So like I said, if you're just trying to stay on the point and survive, then Emma Frost is probably one of the best options at doing that, and she's going to be super strong in season 2. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.